Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here again with a playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game. We're going to play with Ashken Pete again, and we're going to play the second scenario of the core box, which is the campaign Night of the Zealot, in which is named, well, part 2 is called the Midnight Masks. Now, I've done a lot of the setup already, as you can see here. Makes it a little bit shorter, this video. And, well, I'm going to show you a little bit more about the app, because that is something interesting, of course. Not everybody knows about this app. So we're going to load the campaign, and we have a YouTube playthrough here, which is the one we're doing. And as you can see, maybe here, if I spent 5 experience points. So I got some new cards in my deck, and I will tell about them when they show up. So, what can we do here? Well, we can go and choose a scenario setup. So that's the thing that I done, but this also tells us the story. So, let's see if I can show you. Good. So, in the wake of the disaster at your home, Lita Chandler, the red-haired woman from your parlor, lays out a tale that even in the light of what you have just witnessed strains the limit of your belief. The creatures in your home, she claims, are called ghouls. Cruel beings who plague the crypts, caverns and tunnels beneath the city of Arkham. These creatures feed on the corpses of humans, and they are served by a dark cult within Arkham whose members have inexplicably come to worship the ancient master of the ghouls. This cult has been killing innocent people and feeding them to the ghouls, satiating a monstrous hunger. A dark balance was maintained until now, recently. Lita continues, one of their lairs where the corpses were stored was destroyed. Since then, the ghouls have been more active than usual. I have tracked their movement and tried my best to stop them from running amok throughout the city. But I think there's something worse going on. The cult has been planning something darker and more ominous than anything I have yet observed. Indications are that his plans shall come to fruition tonight, shortly after midnight. Beyond that, I cannot fathom what to expect. Many of the cultists, Lita continues, will seem like everyday people, despite their foul intentions. Whenever the cult meets, its members don mask shapes like the skulls of various animals to protect their identities from one another. These masks are our mark. Symbols of death and decay. We must unmask the cultists to expose and derail their plans. We have but a few hours. The more cultists we find before the midnight, the better. So, we have the setup instructions, which I already did. So I have somewhere over there in the left corner, an encounter deck made from the cards with these symbols. I've got locations put like the way they asked me to. If we didn't burn our house, the house would be a location, and we would start there, but that's not the case. And so we had to remove it from the game. We had 2 downtown cards and 2 southside cards to randomly pick from and put them here. So 2 are back in the box. And well, that's it. Because we are playing alone, no monsters are spawned. If you play with more players, then there are already some cultists here. We also, let me zoom out a little bit here. Whoops, that's the other way. Have here a cultist deck as well, which we want to find. Well, we want to find the cultist, and as you can see, it's set up like this. That's how they advise to do so. And you see all these arrows here, which means those are connected, those locations. Now I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to place some wooden markers there to make it easier for us to know where to go. Now, then we can do a finish setup, and when we are ready to go and play the game. There you go. So all these are connected with the wooden pieces here. Also nice to know is that if we wouldn't have killed the red-robed ghoul priest, then he would be shuffled into the encounter deck. So we would, might have to fight him again, but he's not there anymore. We defeated him, luckily. So that's very cool. Now, we are ready to start the game. I have my 5 starting resources here, but I still need, I have Duke, of course, which is my loyal hound, but I need start cards, so I draw 5 and I can mulligan as many as I want. So let's see. Oh, a gun which I don't need at this moment and is expensive, so we're going to mulligan that one for sure. Dark Horse is not that bad, but maybe not for now already. And the Fire Axe at this moment is also a weapon. So I'm going to keep these two, and I'm going to draw 3 new cards. Again, if I should draw a weakness, I can discard it and draw a new one. So, but these are the 3 new cards, and I shuffle back the other 3. And there we go. So, that's that. Now, we of course need to know where we are, what we have to do. So, in the beginning of each scenario, there is some reading to do. So, I'm sorry about that. So, this first episode of this second scenario will be a lot of information and not that much of gameplay, I guess, but we'll see. So first of all, let's see what the goal of this game is. So we have an act, and the act is uncovering the conspiracy. You have 1 night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plan. The more members of a cult you can find and interrogate before midnight, the better. So as an action, we can spend 2 clues as a group, so I'm a one-man show, and draw the top card of the Cultist deck, the one that's over there. And, well, our objective is to find as many unique Cultist enemies as we can and add them to the victory display. If there are 6 Cultist enemies in the victory display, we advance. And other note that not all 6 of them are in the Cultist deck. The deck is 5 cards big, so we have to find another one somewhere else. The agenda, the bad stuff here, says Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that the secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. So, as an action, we can resign if we don't want to risk taking too long, so we head to safety with the information that we gathered. And this will advance if Doom reaches 6. There we go. We start at Rivertown because our house burned down, remember? And it says that the banks of the Miskatonic River are lined with docks, warehouses and small shops in a district aptly named Rivertown. So we're here, so we can turn it around. And it tells us that there is something unsettling about the water of Miskatonic River tonight. It ripples and bubbles as though something is moving beneath the surface. And we get 1 clue on this location, which has a shroud of 1. So 1 clue. Yeah, there we go. That's something we can get, the clue over there. Not too hard to find normally, because it's only a shroud of 1. So that might be something to consider doing. And now, finally, we can start our first round. We have our hand of cards. Let's see what we have a little bit. An asset, which is not too bad to have at the beginning of the game. A leather coat, which protects us. So we might want to take a turn and build up a little bit. And do nothing besides doing that. On the other hand, we might want to consider keeping some cards in our hands if we need to do skill checks and we want to use the skill cards here. Oh man. I'm going to keep the emergency cash. That takes an action to use, and we'll see if we need it. Yeah. Do we want to dig deep? That's not too bad, of course, the dig deep card. So I'm going to, yeah, that's the first action that we're going to do. Pay 2 of our resources and play dig deep, which allows us to, well, it doesn't cost an action. This symbol means that I can do it whenever I want. I can spend 1 resource to get either 1 sanity or 1 evade. Speed, I guess. So that's that. It's an asset we have, so we can dig deep if we want to. That's our first action. Now I could spend the leather coat. Oh, I forgot something in my setup. I think I forgot something. We got a mental trauma last time we played, right? Because we burned our house down, we're not so happy with that. So we have to start each game, each scenario with 1 horror, which is not that good for Ashken Pete because he only has 5 sanity, so he's down to 4. This can be healed though, but we have to start with 1 of these. So as a second action, I think I'm going to try to investigate the river town area here for that one clue. And to do so, I'm going to exhaust Duke. Remember, Duke allows us to do an investigation with a base skill of 4. And I could move to a connecting location before investigating with the effect. But, well, let's get that clue here first. So, I need to beat a 1, which should be okay. I've got 4 now at this moment, so we are going to draw one of the tokens, and let's hope it is already a good thing here. And we draw a +1. That's very good. Well, we didn't have that many chances to fail. So we get the clue token, which might come in handy later. You might wonder, why are you taking clue tokens? That's not the goal of the game. You need to find the cultist, but still it is useful. All right, and maybe as a third action we might want to move already. Or do we? Because, well, if we move and we spawn a monster, that's the worst thing about me. I have bad memory, so I've played this scenario and I don't know what happens anymore. I really don't. So I don't want any monsters to spawn yet, so I might want to consider drawing more cards for now and be more prepared for the next round, after which I could move. And although the timer is going to go very fast, yeah, let's just move. Why not? Where to? I don't know. I have no clue. Did I forget? No, I cannot go to downtown from here, because you can see the symbol here of downtown. The blue triangle thingy is not here, so I cannot go there. So let's go to either the graveyard, Miskatonic University. Where else can we go? Southside or East Town? Where do I have the most possibilities? I think I'm going to go to Miskatonic University. That's my third action, move action. And that means we're here. So, Miskatonic University is one of the most prestigious colleges in the Northeast. The university library is famous for its collection of occult books maintained by the esteemed Dr. Henri Armitage. Alright, so we're here. Look at this. So, we can do as an action, search the top 6 cards of our deck for a tomb or spell card and add it to our hand, and then shuffle our deck. Oh man, that's not too good because I don't need it. There are 2 clues on it. If we get them, we could score 1 victory point, but I'm not sure if that's what we really want to do here, honestly. Because, and let's add the clues here, because I don't think that's what we need. I don't think I have any tomes in my deck here. I do have 2 spell cards, but how important are those at this moment? They are not, I think. So, that ends my action. So, in a normal game, I would turn this around, but I try to remember if I've done enough actions to do so. And then, well, we go to the enemy phase. There are no enemies, so let's show you this one more time. So, we go to the Upkeep Phase, where we can turn around the card again. So, and that's why I'm not going to do it, because it's always turning around. We already all exhausted cards, so Duke, I can ready Duke. And then we gain 1 card and gain 1 resource. Now in the first, I had a comment on my first playthrough that I did it the other way around. I took a resource and drew a card. So this might be important because I might draw a weakness that involves my resource token. So, but we draw a bait and switch, which is an event to evade. All right, and add it to my hand. I don't have more than 8 cards, so that's all fine. So that means we go to a new round, which starts from now on with a Mythos phase, in which we, sadly enough, have to add 1 Doom on the agenda. Here we go, and that means we're closer to whatever is going to happen, if that triggers. Then we draw a card here, of course, an encounter card, which in this case is the Hunting Shadow, a Treachery. It's a curse. Okay, so I must either spend 1 clue or take 2 damage. Oh my. That's not all too good, isn't it? Oh man, do I have any heal cards already? I don't want to spend my clues, but I might want to do so because I can. Maybe I should play my leather coat after this. So I'm going to take the 2 damage for now, which is painful, honestly. Now I could put him on Duke, but I don't want to put those on Duke because we need Duke. He is not allowed to die. Alright, so 2 damage already. And well, this will be discarded, of course. And then we continue to the investigation phase of a new round. Oh, I forgot to take my resource token. There we go. Okay, new round. Let's, as a first action, play this leather coat. I'm going to put on a leather coat, which gives me 2 more hit points, which is might be useful now that this happened. The other things are mostly things to react. So that's my first action. As a second action, do I want those clues? The shroud is kinda high. I wish I drew a newspaper to give me more chances of investigating as it should, but I could maybe if I'm lucky. Yeah, for now let's try. Let's just give it one try. I'm going to exhaust Duke again to do a check of 4 against a shroud of 4. So that means well, we'll see what it means. Oh, a 0, which means I succeed. I get 1 clue, which is, well, I kind of hope to fail, honestly, because I do have this card. If I failed the skill tests by 2 or less, and that's also why I didn't do it myself without Duke, because then the chance of drawing something negative and the difference between being more than 2 would be too big. But that's too sad. I really hoped to get it like that. Okay, so what do we want to do now? If we get that other one, oh, that would be perfect, of course. Do I want to sacrifice a card to ready Duke again? Yeah, we're going to do. So I'm going to discard a card. I can do this once each round to ready Duke. There we go. And I'm going to activate him again. That's our third action, to find another clue, or to try to find another clue. Let's see. And we draw. Oh my god. -1. So I fail. Oh, I fail. Dang it. Was that the good thing to do? Do I spend 2 to get that 1 clue token? That might be that might be overkill, right? Oh man, I have no idea what to do now. Cost me 2 resources as well if I do it, so oh, it's painful. I think I'm still going to do it. I want those clue, I want that clue, and I want to get out of here as fast as I can. So that's it. My 3 actions are done. So we go to the enemy phase. There are no enemies, so we're going to upkeep phase, where I ready all my cards and where I get first a new card, which is a gun, which is not that useful as long as I have Duke. I have one of these in my deck for when Duke should die, of course. And then we draw 1 resource token, and then we go to a new Mythos phase, and that's always bad news, of course. Another Doom token to the agenda, and another encounter, which this time is Mysterious Chanting. Revelation, place 2 Doom on the nearest Cultist enemy. If there is no enemy, so if there are no Cultist enemies in place, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Cultist enemy and draw it. Oh man. So, let's see. We draw cards until we find the Cultist. Wow, luckily this is not a Cultist, the Nightgaunt. It's a monster. Oh man, a lot more. No. Oh, of course we have another big one. Oh man, I always have bad luck for this. So we find a Humanoid Cultist and we spawn it at any empty location. Okay, so I believe there was no special rule. Yeah, so we can choose where to spawn it. But at the end of the Mythos phase, there is one Doom on this guy here, which kind of sucks. He has 2 hit points, so we might as well want to... Do we want to place him at our place? Because he will not attack us anymore, of course. The enemy phase is over. So let's just put him where we are. So he will be engaged with us, and we'll try to find him. We also had to shuffle our encounter deck. Alright. Oh man, a big cultist there already. Sadly enough, he doesn't give... Whoops, I'm sorry. Oh, hit the camera. Sadly enough, he doesn't give victory points, even though he's not the softy. He's not that strong either, but still. Alright, bad news now. Okay, so what does that mean? So we add, at the end of the Mythos phase, we add a Doom token to this Wizard of the Order. Now, Doom tokens on enemies on the board, or on the map, whatever, they count to the agenda as well. So at this moment we have 3 Doom tokens. So if I don't defeat him, he will eventually help trigger the agenda, which of course we don't want to happen. Alright, so we go to the new action phase, and of course we want to kill this Wizard of the Order. And oh man, this might be a good time to, well, to use some cards and try to beat the cultist, of course. And we're going to do that with Duke, of course. He, instead of investigating, he's going to use the first one here, exhaust Duke, to fight with a base skill of 4, and it does +1 damage. So that's very important because he has 2 hit points, so we might kill him in one time. We're going to spend this card here, the Oops, but only for his skill symbols, which gives us a +2 on our attack, and which gives us a 6 against the 4. As you can see, let me show you one more time here. So that's his defense when fighting. This is how we can evade him. So we could evade him, but we don't want to. He needs to die because of his forced ability here, and he has 2 hit points. So we need at least a little bit of success. We have 6 against a 4, and we draw a 0. Perfect. So we do 2 damage, which is enough to destroy the Wizard of the Order, and it goes into the discard pile. No victory points earned here. So action number 1 is done. I think it's time to keep moving, and let's move to, how we could move north, or yeah, let's move to the north side. That's where we go, north side, and that's our second action. So let's see, north side. North side is a commercial district that contains many offices and factories, as well as a train station. All right, so let's see what is happening here. Again, 2 clues, and it says that we can spend 5 resources to gain 2 clues from the token pool. All right, okay, that's something we can do. I'm still wondering where we can... Oh yeah, I forgot about the action of the... Oh man, I'm being stupid. Of course. Oh man, I forgot about the action on the act card, of course. So let's, as our third action, spend 2 clues as a group, which is only me, to, of course, draw one of these cultists here. And let's see what it is. Oh, I've been so stupid. Yeah, that's just silly. So I'm sorry, I'm going to... I don't like to do this, but this is just way too stupid, especially for a playthrough on YouTube. So let's say I didn't do this. I of course had my resources, my clues ready. So I would spend my clues over there as a second action after I beat the dude here. And then we would find Ruth Turner, which is the mortician. She spawns at St. Mary's Hospital. And after she is evaded, we add her to the victory pile, but she's a very tough one to evade. So she's here, and we'll need to, well, we can choose to go there and evade her. So that's something we might consider. Of course, if I go there now, she gets an attack against me, and I cannot evade yet because I only have 1 action left. So that's not something we're going to do. This might be very interesting, of course, next turn to dig deep. Oh, let's me focus. to spend resources to get plus to our skill because we only have a skill of 3 evade. Do we have other cards that might help us? Yeah, yeah, this might give us plus 1d, but this one as well. So what do we want to do? Do we want to have more resources, or do we want more cards to help us? Of course, the more cards we draw, the more chance we have to draw weakness. So for now, I think I'm just going to take a resource as my last action. There we go. Okay, so that's it. We go to the enemy phase. There's one enemy which she doesn't do anything as long as nobody's there, so that's okay. And then we go to the upkeep phase. We get Duke back. There we go. We draw a card, which is overpower, which is very helpful for fighting, gives us +2, and if we succeed, then we can draw a card. So that's something we can use when we need to fight. And a resource token. There we go. So let's end it here. Of course, let's first do the cliffhanger again. So let's just add a Doom token and draw the card here, the encounter card, which is a false lead. If you have no clues, false lead gains surge, which means if you a card gains surge, you have to draw the next card as well. But we do have 1 clue at this moment. So if you have 1 or more clues, test a lore. For each point you fail, place 1 of your clues on your location. So we would have to find it back. Oh no. Lore, a test of 4. Dang it. We only have 2. Wow. We could spend this one here to give us some chance. I think I will. So I'm going to pay 2. Well, I can pay this card. I discard this to get 2, which gives us 4. And well, if you want to know if it works out, well, I invite you to wait for the next part to arrive on the YouTube and the channel and see what happens. So, will the false lead? Will we have to find new clues because of a false lead? We'll see next time. Alright, so folks, one thing, I'm sorry about the takesy-backsy. I don't like doing it, but I think if I make really stupid mistakes by things I forgot about, this playthrough might not be interesting enough because I might die too soon out of stupidity, and I just, well, if we die from madness, it's okay. If we die from being killed, it's okay. But I just want to have an interesting playthrough for you, and that might have been a problem. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you saw other mistakes that I made, let me know in the comments. I might not be able to change how I play because I probably filmed this before you get a chance to comment. But hey, anyway, it's still appreciated to point out mistakes. And it's also always appreciated if you thumbs up or if you subscribe or whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope to see you all again in Arkham somewhere in the future. Bye bye.